Today on the Rob Dibble Show, we make fun of Ben Darnell's Chicago Cubs.
3-2. In the air, out towards right center. Suzuki the call. No.
Oh, my goodness.
And 2-run score. Suzuki called off Bellinger, and just a miscommunication, or maybe he lost it in the lights. I'm not sure.
I'm thinking maybe some lights at the end. The trajectory of that fly ball, that's one we see in a lot of ballparks.
And now, here's Rob Dibble.
It's a big word, trajectory. Color analysts shouldn't use that. Yes, balls do get lost in the lights. That was an untimely error there by Senga, but it happens. It happened. Those Braves seem to be getting all the breaks right now. Cubs lose a tough one. But you, the fan, I know you've been on pins and needles every day. Honestly, I think this is the best thing for baseball.
Things were going so well. So Justin Steele was dealing last night. I actually gave you guys the note.
I told you jinxed it.
I said free pitching clinic in Atlanta started at 7 o'clock. Justin Steele's going to be on the mound for a couple more innings. You should tune in. And Tibbs is like, don't jinx it.
Don't count your chickens before the season's over.
Had nothing to do with Steele. He did give up a couple. He did give up a bomb, and then that turned into a couple of runs, but still left the cupboard with a 3-run lead. You would think they could handle it. Now, just knowing some of the facts of what the Cubs are dealing with, and I know a lot of people don't care because they don't care about the Chicago Cubs, and that's fine. But we are dealing without Adbert Alzolay. If you don't know who that is, one of the better closers in the National League. Plus, there's no Michael Former. There's no Boxberger either. So we got to throw old Smiley Man out there.
Who's normally a starter.
Normally a bad starter.
Wow.
Normally a bad starter. And that's why he is in the middle relief role right now. And he gave it up too. But besides the point, all of that, whatever. Still had the lead. Seiya ain't so. Right there. He's right there.
Drops the ball.
Very reminiscent of Brant Brown against the Brewers.
Same
Broadbacks
team.
on the hill.
Same team.
Yep.
Cubbies.
Ball right there. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. That's why baseball's 27 outs.
And the weird thing is, in the fifth or fourth inning, Seiya ain't so Suzuki puts one in the gap that Acuna Jr., MVP, I would say, of the National League this year, had a horrible misjudgment of a dive, and I think he caught it in the lights or did not catch it in the lights.
Again, and you played under the lights in football. The way they're tilted, especially at night, there's sometimes the glare from the light. It just you can't get the ball.
I would say it's tougher in baseball because the ball's white, and there's more of those. Like in those venues, they stack up lights, like 6 or 7 of them on top of each other. So it's a big square of lights.
Square of lights, and if you look into them, it'll blind you. So you have to try to kind of not look into it. And the thing about it is too, there's also a shadow on the ball. Where in the day, there's no shadow. You just see the ball. You see the ball, and I think your brain sees it differently. A lot of my teammates misjudge balls, and then there'd be some during the day, it'd be right there, but the sky, depending if there was no clouds, there's nothing to really judge, and they would lose the ball. So a lot of guys, try different sunglasses, try different glasses, things like that, but I'm trying to make excuses.
I know. Stop. Just like he's dropped it like it was bad. It's Major League Baseball.
He's a big leaguer. Catch the damn ball.
I mean, you can't take him out of the lineup. Seiya's been just nails at the plate.
One of your best players.
He's been in the lineup all year long. Like, this guy is great, and I feel for him because it's happening to a great person, and it's not over, man. It's not over. They got the Braves again tonight. I know that your Reds won, so they're only a game and a half back. What those Diamondbacks do, they're winning right now to the Chicago White Sox. So we got some afternoon baseball. The Marlins didn't play because the Mets called that thing and made a doubleheader today. They will start game 1 at around 4 o'clock. But it's just kind of a Cubs thing. Like, I understand the curse has been lifted, but it's still what we do, y'all. We will blow it at the end.
I have to say, too, man, I mean, in his entire career, he's made 7 errors in 2 years.
It's nails.
And only 3, including that one last night. So
baseball gods.
I wouldn't say it's baseball gods. He's an excellent, sure fielding right fielder. Not a lot of assists, though.
Baseball gods giveth him a triple. Losing one in the lights, they taketh away his joy.
What a great year, though, man. 284, 20, and 72. Fabulous season.
Ain't going to mean anything if they don't make the playoffs. I can't stand these Diamondbacks.
See, now, ye of little faith, they still have a 1.5 game lead over my former team, the
only
Reds.
a half up on the Marlins, which could disintegrate here this afternoon. You got to win these games when you can. When you can. It was a 6-0 lead. Blown Justin Steele start. Start.
Yeah, you don't want to waste those starts.
And the last two were very rocky, to put it nice. This one was cruising.
What you have going
Cruise
for you,
mode.
though, although they are throwing Woodruff at you against Hendricks, Peralta, and Hauser.
Well, here's the thing we got going.
Braves haven't picked a guy to go up against Stroman. You got Tyon tonight.
Right.
You got, listen, it's in front of you. Much rather be the hunted than the hunter right now with 5 games to play.
Well, with that loss, the Braves clinched the division, and it locked the Phillies into the playoffs as well. But we knew that they were going to be in. Really, the Braves. I'm wondering.
Phillies did a great job though in the last month.
Oh hell yeah!
Phillies put themselves in the postseason, and they're going to be dangerous in the postseason.
Now Braves have 101 wins to the Dodgers 97. As a Cubs fan, I'm just hoping like, all right, you guys are good. You got home field. You got everything you need. You don't need to win anymore. Let the Cubs win. We'll see what happens tonight. Plenty of baseball. How about them Yanks, y'all? They ain't done yet. They put one on the Blue Jays last night to tighten things in the AL East.
Michael King was phenomenal in that spot start. So being a guy that's been on the IL this year, coming out and doing what he did last night, should win type of game for the Blue Jays. That was a great game by the Yankees last night.
Now, it made the Rangers your first-place team in the AL West. Drops the Houston Astros to the 6th spot in the wild card. The Blue Jays only a game and a half on top of them, and the Mariners a half game
behind the Astros.
This is really heating up, y'all, for the last week of Major League Baseball, but it was a say-ya-ain't-so moment for yours truly last night.
Well, what about the Sun? C2
Oh,
Sun.
my gosh.
So you're texting me Cubs stuff. You're texting me Sun
Tiffany
stuff.
Hayes is putting on another clinic. If you want to go to a basketball clinic, head to New York City, where Tiffany Hayes is putting one on the New York Liberty. Up 4 at half. Already up 1-0 in this semifinal series in the WNBA. And then Sabrina Ionescu's got to come out and hit some tray balls and take the ball to the hoop. Make a couple
10
runs.
for 10 from the free throw line.
That was the issue.
That was the killer.
Alyssa
Thomas.
DeWanna Bonner's missing stuff. Like free throws, y'all. That was kind of the game.
Bonner was like 2 for 8 from 3.
Did not have her best performance.
She wasn't.
Did not have her best performance.
And Alyssa Thomas was held down. I think she had like 10 or 11 points.
So Alyssa and Brianna went
going back and back
and forth,
shooting well.
And these are the 1 and 2 in the MVP voting. Yep. Brianna winning it yesterday. Alyssa Thomas getting second in all of the voting, first in the first place votes. But that was a great defensive battle there. Held Brianna in check, but still Brianna on a trail 3. Hits one when it really mattered.
Right.
Brianna, when she can't get it going on offense, stuffing us down low on D. She had a block on Liv that was soul-taking. Soul-taking. But Liv's been playing great. Tiffany Hayes was on fire. She had a couple that she missed down low. She was blaming the refs, thought she could have got a foul. I don't think you do not get calls in the WNBA. I know a lot of people don't watch it. I'm just going to tell you right now. These refs let them play far more than the boys in the NBA. These ladies that take these fouls do not complain quite as often. I would say 75% less often than you'll see in the NBA. It's a tough game down low. But we lost that game after winning at halftime, and now it's a 1-1.
Kurt, do you have a breaking news sounder?
Yeah, we got a bunch of breaking news.
I mean, this is the headline for today.
Which one you want to go with here? Because there's a couple of stories. One
breaking news.
Break at the NBA. Huge 3-team trade.
Damian Lillard is going to be a Milwaukee Buck.
Yep.
DeAndre Ayton will now be a Portland Trail Blazer. Mr. Nurkic from Portland will be going to Phoenix.
Drew Holiday going to Portland.
Okay, I didn't know where he was going to end up.
Holiday,
a part of this 3-team
Ayton,
deal.
and Kamara all going to Portland.
Yeah. Well, I think that obviously Portland knew the writing on the wall. They were going to have to do this. I would say in the grand scheme of things for Portland, Scoot Henderson wins today. Scoot Henderson was their big draft pick. He was going to have to split time and split ball. There's not enough ball to go around when you just got Scoot and Damian in the backcourt, so I think he wins today.
Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasser Little, Keon Johnson all go to the Phoenix Suns.
I don't know if the Phoenix Suns win or not today. I think time will tell. If DeAndre Ayton,
I thought he was a hell of a player.
I think he's
And
great
just
on D.
coming into stardom.
So young. He's still got a long way to go. If he becomes a all-star year in and year out, then I think they lose this. But they got a lot of pieces, and they already have scoring. They've got enough scoring to go around on Phoenix. They need defense, and they need bodies because they always run into an injury bug. And those guys that they got coming back.
But if you're Antetokounmpo, you got what you wanted.
If you're the Bucks, you get 2 for 1, I think.
That's right. You got what you wanted, and so now he's got to be happy that you got one of the best players in the NBA sharing the court with you.
I think if you're Milwaukee, yeah, it's awesome we got Damian, but even more so we get to keep Giannis. So I think they not only signing one, but they keep the other. I think they get 2 superstars after today. And watch out, Boston. New York Knicks, you think you want to do something? I think everything goes through Milwaukee in the East after today. I'm happy for them, though. I mean, you played in that city. That market, that team.
Dude, Milwaukee is a great city.
Yeah.
It's a great city. It's just like Cincinnati. It's just like Indianapolis.
It's a great sports town.
It's a great sports town, and they are going to love Damian Lillard there. And I think the East Coast will see more games that he gets to play, especially East. You're gonna understand how good Damian Lillard really is.
Yeah, and I think for him too to have another guy to feed off of. I know he's had some stars that he's played with in the past,
but nothing like this.
Correct.
Not the freak.
Nothing like Giannis, man. And hopefully that guy comes in 100% healthy. Both of them are going to be healthy throughout the season because I think that was going to be a real fun basketball team to watch. A lot of fun. But that is some news today.
Sad news is one of the greatest baseball players that ever lived, Brooks Robinson, passed away. He'd been ill for years, been kind of hanging on and fighting hard, I think, because so many people love this guy. But Brooks Robinson passed away yesterday at the age of 86, 16-time Gold Glover, 18-time All-Star, but better person. To be around that guy and just like I said this earlier, a gentleman. Just, from the old school ways of making everybody else feel like they're the Hall of Famers in the room, not him. He's royalty. And like a Don Newcomb, like a Buck O'Neil, guys that I've been around and been privy to interview over the years, just a Southern gentleman, man. Just amazing. So, yeah, you'll watch some old video on this guy and say, holy crap, what an amazing third baseman. He was a clutch hitter. Hall of Famer, obviously, but, he was a great ambassador for Major League Baseball. He'll be sorely missed because, a lot of these older gentlemen are passing away now, and it's sad. As I get up there in years, they're getting up there in more years, and he will be one of my favorite people that are gone. I know I'll miss him because just, anytime you're around people like this, they make you feel good about you.
86 years old as he passes away yesterday. Last night, he was an 18-time All-Star between 1960 and 1974. Won the World Series twice. AL MVP 1964. Also a World Series MVP in that 1970. 16-time Gold Glove Award winner. That was 1960 straight through 1975. Yep. 16-year run of winning Gold Glove at third base in the American League. I love his nicknames. One's obvious, Mr. Oriole. His other one I did not know until today, Mr. Hoover.
Yeah, like a vacuum cleaner.
The human vacuum cleaner. I knew the nickname, the human vacuum cleaner, but I did not know they also called him Mr. Hoover.
Well, in that World Series that they beat the Reds, he hit 429 with a couple of bombs and 6 RBI.
That's
Remember,
pretty good.
for one of the greatest plays ever in the postseason. I think it was Lee May hit it down the line, and he basically showed you what he was made of. But that was the beginning of the Big Red Machine. They would have had 3 championships in the 70s had it not been for the Orioles in that year. And I don't think that was the year that they had 4 starters at 120 games, but they had one of the greatest rotations back in the day with Cuellar and Jim Palmer and all those cats. So I mean, the Orioles back in the 70s and late 60s were one of the powerhouse teams in the American League, and obviously he was the main guy. He was unbelievable at and that just shows you back in the day how important corner infielders were. You needed guys like this to eat up balls like he did all the time, and just throwing out the slower base runners that could never beat his arm.
Game 1 of the 1970 World Series, tied 3-3 in the 6th inning. Lee May hit a one-hop fair ball past third base, playing behind the base. Robinson lunged, backhanded the ball, spun 180 degrees, and made a one-hop toss, narrowly beating May to
He's
the bag.
about 5 feet in foul territory when he throws it. It's sick. And listen, he didn't have like the arm like a Ken Caminiti or a Matt Williams. He just got rid of the ball so quick. And Lee May was, going trunking down at first base loud. And he was one of my big league coaches. Mo was one of the greatest guys, too, man. Still, anybody who brought that up, he was still ticked off about it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Because he didn't beat that throw.
Because he couldn't beat it out.
Oh.
Because he couldn't beat the throw.
That's crazy. Brooks Robinson was inducted in 1983 to the Baseball Hall of Fame. He got 91% of the vote.
But they were unbelievable. I mean, they had Mark Belanger at shortstop. You had Paul Blair in center field. You had so many Gold Glove players all over the diamond for that team, and they made and helped that pitching staff become one of the greatest pitching staffs ever in Baltimore. But, oh, my God, it's just watching like that, or like, Craig Nettles and guys like that, the guys that really, made that hot corner special in the 70s and 80s when I was growing up, and you were like, man, these guys are ridiculous. There's nothing that gets by these guys. And every throw's on the money. It's another thing that kids should understand, that all of these throws are either one-hoppers or right in the chest of the first baseman. That's from how many ground balls you take. There's no analytics that can tell you need to take more ground balls. You need to be more proficient with your glove and your timing and footwork. All of that stuff makes you a great fielder. Winning the 16 Gold Gloves is not just about catching the ball. It's delivering it to the first baseman or the second baseman on time, getting them good throws where the second baseman can turn a double play. I mean, that's why guys like a Brooks Robinson are so few and far between today, because guys don't want to put in the work. Remember Will Myers a few years ago? I was not joking about this, and I'll never joke about this. This guy really upset me when he said, I don't want to take ground balls. So they stuck him in the outfield. That you can't have that attitude when that's preparation for your job is part of baseball.
He joined the Orioles when he was 18 in 1955. When he retired, he had played 2,870 career games at third base, the only player to do so. The closest to him at third base to play that many games was 700 games away. So he's always in the lineup.
That 70 Orioles team was 108-54.
Dang. Every 3, they're getting 2. That's winning every series.
Let me pull this up real quick. I don't think this was all. Yeah, you had 3 20-game winners on this team. You had Jim Palmer, Mike Cuellar, and Dave McNally. But just look at how ridiculous Jim Palmer was that year. 24 years old. He was 20-10. 39 starts, 17 complete games, 5 shutouts, 305 innings. 305 innings. Insane. Absolutely insane. And by the way, Jim Palmer, 20-game winner, 8 out of 9 years. That 1 year he blew out his elbow, still pitched 175 innings. still one of the greatest pitchers that ever lived. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and the WNBA Coach of the Year will join us.
All right.
Stephanie White, the CT Sun head coach. She doesn't shy away after a loss. She will join us next on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive.
97.